So what's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today I thought I'd do a compilation video on some awesome weapons and armor to get very early game in Skyrim Remastered. So this is going to feature a ton of cool things, such as being able to get a full set of dwarven armor very early game, how to get ebony weapons very early, how to get some elven stuff, some very basic gear as well, and even a unique bow that's really cool into one video for you guys today. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video and want to see some more Skyrim Remastered guides on the channel, be sure to leave a like down below. Your support, of course, is greatly appreciated on the channel. And let's jump straight into this. So we're going to start off with a few basic ones first, and the main reason for that is that it's best to get a little bit of loot before jumping into the rest of them, just so you're a little bit prepared going into the rest of them. So some of you guys may know about this one, but the first one we're going to be showcasing is some elven weapons that you can obtain from Whiterun. Now of course, Whiterun is one of the first locations you'll end up going to towards the beginning of the game, and once you're here, you're looking for a building known as Jorvaskia. You can find it, just by following me. If you don't know where it is, it's not too far from Dragon's Reach. And once you're inside of there, you want to head all the way down to the living quarters, which is just taking the stairs to the right. Now once you're down here, you may want to check out some of the rooms and surrounding areas for anything that you may want to pick up that you may be interested in. Now the main thing we're looking for though is the display cases. There's quite a few display cases down here in some of the rooms. If you just head straight down the hallway, you'll find a display case to the right with an Elven Warhammer in it. So you can simply go ahead and pick that lock. Try to make sure nobody sees you, just simply crouch into the corner or something. And once you've picked the lock, you can then go ahead and pick up the Elven Warhammer. Directly next to that, I believe, is an iron dagger, which you can also go ahead and pick the lock on the case and then grab it if you like. And then just opposite is a dwarven greatsword you can also pick up as an additional weapon if you like. Now if you turn around and take a right in Arya's room, I believe this is her room, you'll also find another display case. Now within this display case there is a book, and when you read it, it will increase your archery skill, and there should also be an elven bow lying in here. In the main game there usually is an elven bow. I'm not too sure why it's not there in my game. I don't know if they took it out of the remastered version or if my game's just glitched or something, and maybe the elven bow is just sunken down into the display case itself, but it wasn't there for me. Usually an elven bow is here. You can go ahead and Google it if you want, if you think I'm lying or something, but if you guys know why it wasn't there for me, let me know in the comment section, or is it just that it's not there with the remastered version. But this was the last display case. Usually there's an elven bow in there, and the reason why I mentioned it in this video is because you guys should definitely check and see if it's there for you anyway. But with those elven weapons out the way, it's just a little bit of gear you can get from Whiterun by lock picking, of course. Now let's move on to some more interesting stuff, and starting off with some ebony weapons you can get very early on. So to get some ebony gear early on, the first thing that you want to do is head over to the Whiterun stables. Once you're here, go ahead and take the carriage to a city known as Morthal. Now the reason you're going here is because you want to get as close to a location known as Lost Valkaig as you can, and the closest city to that is of course Morthal. So once you've taken the carriage and you've officially arrived here, what you want to do is you want to turn around and just simply follow where I'm going in the video. I end up going all the way around. I end up sort of taking a side entrance, I guess. It's pretty much at the front of Labyrinthian. You'll see the exact map locations as well here shortly. But again, if you just follow where I go in the video, you should be fine. And once you're at the front of Labyrinthian, simply take a left, head all the way around, and you'll now be at Lost Valkaig. Again, here is the map location just for preference if you want to know exactly where it is from the city of Morthal itself. And what you want to do now is make a save just for backup purposes, just in case anything goes wrong, and then enter the building itself. Once inside, you'll now want to make your way through the whole thing, and you'll ultimately come across a few Draugr once you're inside of there. In fact, you are looking for two in particular, the Death Lords, which you'll see here as well shortly. But as you're progressing through, there is only really one way you can go. You will come across a few Draugr that you will need to take out. So it is suggested that if you are a lower level and you're finding it a little bit too hard, you may want to lower your difficulty down for this just to get the weapons if you want to. That is just a suggestion. But once you've taken out the Draugr, again, just keep following it all the way around. There's only really one way you can go, so yeah, just keep following it. Eventually you'll come across some more Draugr again. You'll simply need to take those out as well. Just be very careful of your health in these situations. Simply kill them. Again, you can loot the surrounding areas if you want, see what they've got on their body, if there's anything you're interested in or anything like that. And then keep progressing through. You'll find a locked door here as well if you want to go ahead and pick that. There's also a helmet behind it if you're interested in that. And eventually, once you keep making your way through, you'll find one of the Death Lords. Now here is where you want to be very careful. Before you engage and fight this guy, you want to make a save, because if he hits you once with a bow, you are going to die. He is actually holding the ebony bow, and again, if he hits you once with that thing, you are as good as dead. So make a save, and the key to this fight is to sort of strafe and try and stagger him as well. If you are using a shield, the way that I ended up doing this while I was recording was probably a very bad way at doing this, but you want to keep strafing him. As he pulls out his bow, get very close to him, keep like swinging the sword at him. Make sure you're moving your character to the right and the left so that he keeps missing his bow shot. At close range, he will eventually pull out his axe, which can't one-shot you. It's a lot weaker than the bow, of course, but he'll eventually pull out his axe. Again, just keep trying to swing, pull back. If he does hit you once, make sure that you heal up. And it's the same process over and over again. If you do have a shield, it's much easier. You can keep sort of staggering him, which is a very good thing to do as well. And that's sort of the process of the fight. It's pretty much to just keep strafing him, keep swinging at him, and you'll eventually take his health down enough to go ahead and kill him. That's how you do it. I mean, I believe I was level 7 in this, actually going to this location. So if you are a little bit lower, it may be a little bit more difficult, but again, that is how you actually beat this guy. Now, once you do beat him, you can go ahead and pick up the ebony bow. It's a very good bow to obtain, you know, early on in the game. Definitely a suggested one. And also in this location, there's a chest you can loot with some general items in it. And if you head up and take a right as well, you'll find another chest, which is actually a little bit bigger, with some more general stuff in it as well, just for some general loot purposes there for you guys. Now that you've taken out the first Death Lord, it's time to fight the second one. And the second one will be holding some variant of a two-handed ebony weapon. And if you don't like it, you can simply sell it, because it does sell for quite a bit. But to get to the second one, again, make a quick save just before you do anything, and this time you're going to want to head down the hole, and you'll notice that there's these wooden beams down there. You want to land on those wooden beams one by one, being very careful, and you want to land on the last one and make sure that you stay on it. Try not to fall all the way down to the bottom, although if you do fall down to the bottom, I will also show you where you can go as well. But if you do manage to land on the bottom one there, you can simply just keep bowing him down non-stop. He tried using Unrelenting Force on me up here, but he just couldn't do it. He just wouldn't work on me properly. Not entirely sure if that was just a glitch or just because he was right below me, but do be careful of Unrelenting Force in that situation, and just keep bowing him down, just non-stop, and eventually you will kill him. He will try to run away, but you should be able to still shoot him in his foot there. But just for purposes, if you fall down or whatever, what you can also do is jump down and walk all the way over and jump to where this chest is. He cannot get to you in this location, and of course, once you are done bowing him down and eventually killing him, you can then go ahead and loot his body. And again, he will have, I believe, a completely random ebony two-handed weapon for you. For me, it was the great sword, and heck, I mean, if you don't like it, you can simply sell it, because, well, it does sell for quite a bit of money there, as you can see from the gameplay. And that, my friends, is how you can get ebony weapons very early on in Skyrim. And now let's move on to the next part of the video, which is where to find some dwarven armor. So to get a full set of dwarven armor very early on in the game, we're talking between like level 4 to level 8, you know, as long as you have some sort of gear to take out some enemies with, you should be fine getting this. And to begin, you want to head to the Whiterun stables and take the carriage to a place known as Markarth. I'll also go ahead and bring up the map location for you guys right now, just in case you're not taking the carriage there, maybe you're close by or something. But once you've entered Markarth, you want to head to the very top of the city to a place known as Understone Keep. And then once you enter there as well, just simply follow exactly where I go. As soon as you enter, take a left and follow it all the way down, and eventually you'll come across a wizard known as Kausumo, and go ahead and speak to him. He'll talk about the excavation site to you, and eventually you'll have to come to agree to take out a giant spider in the excavation site. And when you do, he'll then give you a key, and then from there you can simply go ahead and walk all the way into the excavation site itself. Now once you're in there, again, it's just a matter of following exactly where I go. There will be a few enemies that you will maybe need to take out, a few spiders and stuff, you know, very simple stuff. I want to mention that I am playing on expert difficulty in this. It may be best to turn it down a little bit if you are a little bit of a lower level. You know, I'm doing this at level 8. And just simply keep going, and you'll eventually come across this part here where, you know, I definitely suggest making regular quick saves as you go along. And the giant spider is going to pop down from the ceiling there, as you can see. And all you want to do is just walk in, step back out, and you can simply take out that spider very, very easily with a bow here, just to get rid of it very, very quickly. Now once you've taken out the spider, you are not done yet. You've still got quite a bit to go here, so all you'll need to do now is walk up these stairs and enter the door behind him. Now once you've entered the door, simply make your way around, and it's at this stage where you'll start coming across more and more Falmer. So just be very careful how you approach it. Again, make several quick saves. I ended up sneak attacking them. That's definitely one of the best ways you'll end up going about this. And once you've taken out the 2 Falmer on the bridge here, what you'll now want to do is take a look down to the right and jump straight down into the water. Now, don't worry, there is a spiral staircase to get back up, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. But once you've jumped down into the water, what you'll now want to do is go all the way down and take the right entrance into the armory, as you'll see me doing here from the gameplay in the background. Now once you enter the armory, depending on your level and the gear that you have, you may want to take out the Falmer enemies in here. I mean, you can explore it a bit if you like. Again, I was level 8 playing on expert difficulty, so what I just did in this case was run straight past the enemies. I mean, all you have to do is take a right first, then take a left, then take another right, you know, follow the path I'm taking in the video, and go all the way down to the gate that's locked at the very end on the right side. And of course, you will need to pick this. It is an expert lock, so just be wary of that and the amount of lock picks that you have as well at such an early stage. And behind this gate is a full set of dwarven armor. You'll find all of the pieces sort of scattered around within the area itself. I believe you can also find a dwarven shield just outside of there as well. And if you like, I mean, again, if you are playing on a lower difficulty, this will be much, much easier. But if you like, you can loot some of the other gates as well. You know, not only will that get your lockpicking skill up, but also there's a few decent chests in there. You've got one bigger chest, and you've also got one smaller chest behind one of the gates in there as well. But, you know, once you've done looting, feel free to loot the rest of the area if you like. But if you want to go ahead and get back out with your dwarven armor now, just simply head back the way you came. You know, exactly as you see me doing there from the gameplay in at the background, and then exit the armory itself. Now once you've exited the armory, here is where that spiral staircase that I mentioned at the beginning comes into play. You can see it there just off to the right. Again, be very wary here. Falmer enemies do actually pop out here, and depending on the difficulty you are on and your level and your gear, they can kill you pretty damn quickly. So be sure to be very careful at taking those out, or if you like, you can simply run past them. But again, simply head all the way up and around the spiral staircase and head all the way back the way you came in the very beginning. And then once you've entered this part where you've taken out the big spider, head all the way back again until you've exited finally back to the Understone Keep. And that, my friends, is how to get a full set of dwarven armor very early in the game. I mean, at this point, you can feel free to turn in the quest if you want, or this part of the quest. It does actually continue if you don't know from this point. I'm not going to spoil anything else for you guys, but that's how you get it. You know, again, in my opinion, it's a very cool piece of armor, and it's something very, very well to get early on in the game if you do wish to. And for the final part of the video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get the awesome bound bow. Now, the bound bow itself is actually a unique conjuration spell in Skyrim that, when cast, actually equips you with an ethereal version of a Daedric bow and 100 ethereal Daedric arrows for around 120 seconds. Now, of course, you can keep casting this as much as you want to use it as much as you want as well, which, for you early game players, this is an extremely good bow to get your hands on, or a guest conjuration spell to get your hands on. However, it does cost quite a bit of magicka to cast in the first place. In early game, that can be quite an issue. So before we jump in to the exact location of where you can find this and stuff like that, I'm going to take you guys through a bit of a process on how you can increase your magicka early game, just in case you need to be able to cast this in the first place. So first tip, if you are in Haugen, you know, you've just pretty much started the game, you're escaping, make sure that you pick up the novice hood off the mage that's locked in the cage there. That's at the very beginning of the game. I'm pretty sure you guys all know about this. That alone will increase your magicka by 30. Now this isn't necessary, this is just a quick tip for those of you who already have this. This may come in handy for you. However, as you're leveling as well, let's say you're level 3 or 4, you can just put some points into Magicka to replace this if you really want to in the long run. Now another thing that you can do and probably will need to at the very beginning of the game if you are trying to do this very early is go ahead and get the Atronach Standing Stone. Now this will give you plus 50 Magicka points and also grant you 50% spell absorption. And to get here, the first thing that you'll need to do, like we've done a lot in this video, is head over to the Whiterun stables and this time take the carriage to a town known as Windhelm. Once you're here, turn around and pretty much keep heading in the south direction on your compass. I'll show you guys the exact location of the Standing Stone on the map when we do get there. Try and take as many sort of back routes as you can, because if you are following the roads and some of the main paths, there is some things that you may come across that can kill you pretty damn quickly, and considering you're a low level, you really don't want to come across them. So again, sort of take the back route, just keep heading in the south direction, and eventually you will see the Standing Stone marker on your compass, which you can then go ahead and, go to. So here is the exact location on the map for those of you out there who are wondering. Again, just take as many back paths as you can, and then go ahead and activate the Atronach Standing Stone itself. Now at this point, you will probably have enough Magicka to go ahead and cast the spell. If you don't, just keep investing in Magicka and eventually you will. But with the Novice Hood and with the Atronach Stone combined, there's a good chance that you are going to have enough at this point. So moving forward from the Standing Stone here, if you head west and keep heading west, you'll eventually come across another place known as Fort Amal. This is the location for it on the map. It really isn't too far away. And this is where you can find the bound bow. Now you'll want to be very sneaky here. You'll want to go through the main entrance, and what I suggest is that you just book it. Just straight away run in there and run out, because these guys will actually kill you very quickly depending on your difficulty and level. And what you want to do is you want to run straight in there, take a left and run straight into the prison. Once you're in the prison, run straight over to the bucket in the corner and just spam the pickup button with whichever console you were on. For me, this was on the Xbox One, so just spam A, and underneath the bucket you will find the conjuration spell right there. So again, if you're spamming it, you'll automatically pick it up. Once you've picked it up, again, run straight out the building, straight out entirely, and run away. Or again, if you want to go ahead and fight them, that is up to you depending on your level and stuff. But if you are a very low level, you can simply just run in there, pick it up, run straight back out, and you now have the Bound Bow Conjuration spell. Go ahead and learn it, cast it, and that is the Bound Bow. Again, it is a very, very good bow. It's actually better than the Ebony Bow in terms of, damage, or default damage, I guess you could say. But, it's a very cool one to obtain at the very beginning of the game. And that, my friends, is a few tips in terms of weapons and armor for you early game users compiled into one video. Again, if you guys did enjoy this video and maybe want to see something like a part 2 where I'll show you guys other cool stuff that you can get early, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below. Your support, of course, is always greatly appreciated on the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you guys are new around. I'm going to be pumping out Skyrim guides. Got a Skyrim console mod series coming up soon, plus a Fallout one as well. So be sure to be on the lookout for those. As always, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time with a brand new video. Peace out.
Hello.